Good morning. It is so hot in LA. Oh my god. It has just been in the 90s and I feel like it's only gonna get hotter. So, I think I should probably make some iced coffee. So, I am generally a morning person, but the past couple nights I totally overdid it. I stayed up super late and then I would have caffeine late at night and just go crazy. And I was like, oh shit, I'm becoming a night owl. Like if I keep doing this, I'm not gonna have any energy during the day or during the morning. Last couple of days, I have gotten just about nothing done on the project that I have to do this week. So, gotta do that today, gotta find the motivation. Step one is caffeine. All right, I have like a whole office area on the other side of my house that is preoccupied. I just have a bunch of projects happening on the table. And I'm very tempted to just like take this morning motivation to go and clean it all up and then work. Anyway, but that's not a terrible idea, but I feel like if I do that, I might just waste away a few hours of motivation and then I won't have the motivation that I really need to work on this, so let's just go here. So I've been needing to come up with some more ideas for the garments in this collection I'm working on. So I think I'm just gonna give myself like 5 or 10 minutes and just sketch out a bunch of random stuff and see what happens. Let's go. Honestly, they're not the best thing in the world, but you know what? I got some quick sketches and I can always change them as I'm working, so time to turn them into computer flats. All right, I just used the trusty Pomodoro technique of setting a timer for 20 minutes and then having a 5-minute break. And I did actually get a whole jacket drawn out. So good job me, trying to keep momentum going. I'm having one of those moments where I'm like, I don't feel creatively motivated to do this right now, but I just have to do it. All right, I don't know. I just kind of killed a couple hours. I'm now making a freaking latte. I'm making some espresso and I'm frothing some milk because I don't know. I'm not getting anything done right now. I'm having a day, all right? I caught up on my sleep. I was like, I'm gonna be productive again today. No, the fuck I'm not. I don't know. I get that mode at like 2 to 3 p.m. I think everybody does this, or a lot of people do at least. Where like, I just like lose all motivation in the world. It's just hard. Also, my plan I was talking about earlier of like doing like just cleaning up that office area, I think I am gonna do that because I don't know. I'm just frustrated. I just like can't do work right now. Also, I'm making a lavender latte in my little Moomin mug. It's so cute. Oh, it's delicious. That's really sweet. I put a lot of sugar. I didn't realize it was gonna be hello. I didn't realize it was gonna be so small because I forgot that I barely have any oat milk right now. But okay, I have more caffeine. And yeah, my office is kind of just a disaster right now because I use it to like make stuff. I mean, I have all my like supplies here for my shop. So I have a bunch of like jewelry supplies and all my leather and whatever. But anyway, this place has just been out of commission. My kitchen was crazy messy. And then a couple weeks ago, I just literally hyper-focused on it for like 7 hours and fully cleaned my kitchen and my dining room and everything. So it looks nice there, but the office was left behind and I really need to clean it. I realized that this vlog might be a little boring so far. Honestly, the stuff that I edited in, I feel like I might change it up and not have some of the stuff in it that I was planning to, because it was a lot of me repeating myself of just saying like, I have a lot of work to do today and I don't feel very motivated. Let's see if I can get it done. That's not very interesting. That's not a very interesting thing to say. You don't really want to hear that over and over. Like I was planning to actually talk about stuff instead of just, you know, me saying, wow, I can't do anything. Let's see if I can. That's not what I can. So anyway, but I mentioned this like months ago when I made a little intro video or whatever, where I really just want to do more stuff where like I'm just talking about stuff. And just now, as I was like making my espresso, I was watching a video from Graveyard Girl and I loved her videos so much as a kid and I've stayed a fan even if I don't watch her for months or years. But anyway, she has so many videos where she's literally just like talking. Like she would do her tea vlogs all the time. And then she also did like follow me arounds and stuff like that a lot more in the past. And then now she doesn't really do them. So I was watching one from 2 months ago where she was saying like, should I do more of that? And I was like, yes, please. I've been watching you forever. Please do that. So anyway, I love videos like that. So I kind of like want to do that, you know? And I really don't know if anyone is still watching that on YouTube, because I feel like that was such a trend like 10 years ago. And now the most popular YouTubers are pretty much reaction content, like commentary, which is a lot of what I watch. But also, like, one of my favorites is Jarvis Johnson and Jordan Adika. I love their podcast and I love their YouTube videos. And obviously, like, Jarvis and Jordan and their personal stuff pretty much do like reaction stuff. But their podcast is just like talking about things. And I love to watch it. It's like, here are two people that I just like, you know, I like the personalities, I like what they talk about, they have interesting things that are like the topics and whatever, and they'll have other people on, other YouTubers that I know or that I don't know, so it's fun to watch. So anyway, I'm like, I don't know, I feel like there used to be a lot of that vlog content that was super popular, and then now it's not, but in another way it is, because podcasts are super popular, so I feel like they are just the new version of that, kind of just another way for everybody to just hang out with someone, because, you know, sometimes you're lonely, you're bored, or you need something on in the background, because we all need something on in the background, because that's just our attention spans. But yeah, like, I feel like I am just always trying to understand my own brain and my own attention span and motivation and all that kind of stuff better all the time. Like, psychology has always interested me a ton, and even like neuroscience and understanding like your mind and your brain and how that relates to everything. And then obviously, you know, I got an ADHD diagnosis when I was 18, so I was like sure that I knew what it was when I was younger, but then by that time I was like, okay. And then as I did more research and understood it better, I realized like, wow, this is way more than, you know, a lot of people will just be like, oh, we have trouble focusing. And it's like, I mean, yeah, but it has so much more to do with other parts of your life. And it's like the good and the bad. So anyway, on that note, I've really just been trying to like understand my motivation more, because in high school, just going through it without, you know, diagnosis or out any like traditional accommodations that some people had, not that I necessarily needed them, because the kind of things that they offered, I don't think I really needed. Like, you know, more time for tests is always like the one that they say in high school and college. And for me, I don't think that in particular was an issue, or something that I like needed to ask for. But, I mean, being a creative person, I always like was drawing or literally like sewing or putting studs on something in class. Like, I just, in so many classes, I mean, obviously drawing, a lot of people do that, but I would literally bring like a bag of studs and a jacket, and I would just cover it in studs through a lecture, or bring patches and like thread. Having something going on, I feel like that's just been how my brain has worked forever. And it's kind of funny because to try to, you know, have the glass half full perspective on this whole thing, people all the time talk about like how absolutely terrible it is that people's attention span is declining, and, you know, the fact that we need to focus on all these things at once means that we can't focus on a single thing. It's making us worse, you know, everything is just bad, and our generation is terrible if you're Gen Z. And it's like, dude, people are just negative about everything all the time. And I was even watching the Vsauce video recently that was talking about generations and talking about how everybody's always had those perspectives, you know, and even like quoting stuff from decades ago that sounds like it's about people on their phones, but it's actually about people in books. So it's like, okay, this is like, no, this is really new. I'm just thinking about the fact that people try to say all that negative stuff all the time, and it's like, you know what? I think a lot of people, especially people with ADHD, especially neurodivergent people who are creatives, and also just all sorts of people, you know, I'm just using those labels because they're easier to quantify, but anybody could fall into this, have sort of, you know, multitasking sort of attention, and that's okay. Like, I don't think that's inherently negative or always negative. And I think for a lot of people like me, it's how you get stuff done. So, you know, if I'm listening to a lecture, I'm going to be doing something with my hands, like in high school and in some classes as well in college, when it's just a lecture going on, so it's just like, you know, listen to things. I would play like Tetris on my laptop. So I would just like, you know, have one of my hands on the arrow keys, and I would just play Tetris, because Tetris and things like that are totally visual. It's only visual. Like, it's visual and it's also tactile, because obviously I'm like controlling it with my fingers. And so that makes it so that my like senses, my eyes and my hands are occupied. I guess occupied is the word that I'm looking for. So that my mind can focus on the things I'm hearing. I can listen better when I just satisfy the other senses. And I think a lot of people do that, and it is not inherently bad, and it's not always bad, and it's perfectly okay if someone is doing something while they're listening to a video. That being said, I do very much recognize that when any of us have like multiple screens going and it's just like having YouTube on while scrolling on social media, maybe even while having something up on your computer, like let's say you're doing homework and you have it on your laptop and you're on social media and you're listening to a YouTube video, it's like you're not doing shit. That's just not good. And I realize that I do that fairly often, and I don't like it when I do that, and I'm aware that I'm doing it, and it just saps your motivation and your emotion. Like, it just is not good in any way. And where did I get here? Where did I get here? How did I get where? What's going on? I don't know. How did I get here is what I was gonna say. Not even sure. But the point that I started all this with is that just having a voice on is nice a lot of times, and that's how I pretty much do anything ever. So I imagine there are others like that, especially with the popularity of podcasts and stuff like that. And there are some awesome people who have been subscribed for a while who are like, hey, thanks for posting, like your videos, and just want to hear from me and everything, and that's really awesome, so thank you. I just want to keep doing this because it's fun. It's fun for me to just chat about stuff, and it's fun for me to just listen to other people talk about stuff. So honestly, like, I overthink what I'm doing with this channel a lot. I'll make lists of like, you know, things I'm going to make, like videos I want to make and ideas I have and everything. And it's not to say I shouldn't do those, but a lot of times I come up with a video idea and it's like, yeah, in theory I could do that. And sure, I'd get some views, I'd get some more than usual. Or like the fact that, you know, makeup videos have been my most watched videos and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, I could do more of those and probably get a number of views. But it's also like, my end game is really not to get a bunch of views on this. Like, obviously I'm not putting more time into this than like other hobbies necessarily, and I'm not trying to like make it grow as fast as possible. Like, I think I looked one thing up about YouTube and I'm getting all these ads and videos from these people who are like, you know, how to make $1 million in 6 months, and it's like, okay, chill out. That is not my intention. Like I don't want this to be, you know, my main gig or anything like that. In no way am I reaching for fame. But at the end of the day, like, I'm repeating myself so much, but I really just want to do it for fun, you know, and just make the kind of videos that I like to watch. Like, an example that I love is Scott Kramer, who I've gotten a lot more into. Only a matter of years ago, he had way less views and subscribers, and he's talking about, you know, all these commentary YouTubers who I've watched for years that have a ton of subscribers, and now he is among them just by being himself and making fun videos and having the dedication to do it and everything. And like, it's just cool, you know, you enjoy something, you try it out, and if it's fun, like, keep going. And that's really what I'm trying to do. Like, the video that Curtis Connor just made with that awesome independent singer about how he just does what he wants to do and people admire it so much because he's just having so much fun. It's like, yeah, just do what's fun, you know? And like, I'm just such a talkative person, and I'm always just in a room talking to myself, and especially when I drink a lot of this. I have a lot to say at a very fast speed that most people are like, oh my god, please chill out, I cannot listen to this. It's fun. I remember it when I was in high school and I wasn't like, well, I drank coffee every day. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure I was drinking coffee every morning for all of high school. But I don't know, maybe it was just the second cup or something, or maybe sometimes I had tea, because there were certain times where at about like 11, sometimes I would get like a cold brew from like 7-Eleven or whatever. Or maybe it was the beginning of the day. I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe it was the morning. And then by like 10 or 11, I was just like unbearable. Like I would just be speaking so fast. And it was funny, honestly. And I used to do it way more, where I would have coffee like in the evening and then just get super creative and like sew a whole garment to do some crazy thing. And last night I was really considering doing that, but I was like, no, I'll catch up on my sleep. And you know what? Fuck it. I should have just done it. I should have just had coffee and gotten whatever I could have done last night, because even though I did sleep a good amount, I was like totally woken up at like 2 a.m. by the super loud bass from my neighbor's music. So, fun times. Honestly, I'm in one of those modes where I'm just trying to do something. Like, so often I have work to do and I just am not motivated to do that particular work. So I'm like, okay, if I do something else, then I'm not just wallowing, and sometimes that can build motivation to other stuff. Like that whole cycle, that whole like little map someone made where it's like action, inspiration, motivation, where it's like people say like inspiration, motivation, action, but it's actually a circle where if you do something that can cause inspiration or motivation. Anyway, I'm attempting to get on that cycle right now by doing something. And hey, the office space is not entirely clear, but there's a lot of space on the desk, so clearly I'm doing something. Also, I have like really cool walls in this place. Like you see, I mean, there's some space there, but I have a lot of cool decor, and I feel like my videos keep having boring backgrounds. Like I need to set it up so I have cool stuff in the background. I have a cool apartment, I really do. Also, I've seriously been wanting to do a tour, especially after just posting that video that I did of like my Halloween decor from last year, because I did buy so much stuff that now is like all around this place. And I keep overthinking it because like, you know, I'll have my place pretty clean, and then I'll have homework assignments to do or big projects, and then, you know, my living room ends up looking like that because there's a bunch of stuff happening. There's a bunch of paper and fabric and all that. But I feel like I just need to get to a point where it's like decent and just do the video there, because it's never going to be perfect. And also, a perfectly clean apartment would be a very inaccurate tour for me, because anyone who knows me or anyone who doesn't know me, it's like, yeah, I'm not that photogenic, whatever, you know, magazine ready kind of person. And I think a lot of people, especially people who are creatives and have aesthetics like mine, are all like maximalist and everything. Yeah, my walls are maximalist, so are my floors, okay? Like, it's not just a bunch of colors and perfectly clean whatever. Like, that's just not, it's like an antique store where there's just so much stuff and you can barely walk around. That's just how it is, you know? I'm always in the middle of a few projects. The constant state of an artist. Okay, enough coffee. I need more water. I'm honestly trying to use you as my body double right now to motivate me to get the work done that I know I have to. I am truly having one of those days where I have work that I need to do, and the particular stuff that needs to be done is just, why does this keep falling? It's not tight enough. I'm looking like fucking Mike or whatever his name is from Suicidal Tendencies. A little better. Okay. I have so many chairs in my other room, as you could probably see. I need to bring one of them over here and my laptop and try to get stuff done. I don't know why it's so hard for me right now. It's like, oh my god. I was just watching a video about this, about how like when you're doing something that you know how to do and you're just doing like repeating a task, you can listen to stuff in the background, it's fine. But when you're doing something new, you have to like totally focus on it. And I feel like a lot of the stuff I'm doing is repeat, so it's not that hard. But I don't know, I was getting so frustrated at it earlier, so let's see if I can work on it and not get super frustrated. All right, y'all, I've actually been doing a really good job of just eating the frog and doing the stuff I need to do. It was a struggle, but you know what? That caffeine did help. And what else really helped is just this, like just talking. Let me tell you something super goofy. All that long little rambling moment that you just listened to, I obviously edit my videos, you know, before I post them, even if it seems like I don't. And I just like uploaded it into my little iMovie, and I was watching it back and editing it like as I listened, but like working while I was listening to it, and my own voice in the background helped me. So might be very silly, might sound egotistical or narcissistic or whatever the freaking word is, but it helps me. So there we go, proof that me rambling about whatever it is that I'm rambling about helps someone to work, even if it's myself. I think I'm like actually finishing this. I think I'm actually almost done with the last garment for this. Thank God, because I am just struggling. It's like stuff that is not usually hard. I mean, it's so ridiculous because the creative part of this is what I'm having the most trouble with. What? Usually it's all the technical stuff that kills me, but somehow, I don't know. Being in fashion school, let me just tell you, if you happen to be someone who is considering it. It's made me realize that like the idea of actually fully being a designer, I don't know how realistic what I'm doing is really. My stuff is kind of like how there's fast fashion brands that are coming up with new stuff every like 3 days or whatever the hell, more like every couple weeks, but if that. And then obviously there's like other larger and designer brands and all that kind of stuff that come up with stuff every season, right? And a season, there's a long time in between seasons. And so I'm like, if I were working for a company and doing seasons, I feel like I would be a great designer in that realm. But just being in fashion school, I'm like, oh my God, if this is how much work I gotta be doing, like, holy shit, how am I gonna have a life? But also, it's college, right? So there's like a ton of work. The assignments that I do, I'm like, I need the creativity, enough creativity to come up with a line. Last quarter, it was every week. This quarter, it's every 2 weeks. But like, I mean, and the thing that sucks too is like, my inspiration and the stuff I want to make and the stuff I'm working on changes so frequently, so that by the time it's like actually time to finish it and everything, I'm like less in that vibe. So it's been difficult to sort of have the inspiration for it while I'm working on this. But you know what? I just banged it out and freaking got this stuff done that I was having such a hard time with. The point I was trying to make there is that what I've learned is I can come up with some great stuff. I'm very proud of the creativity that I have and the things that I come up with. But if I'm given the time frame of like every week or every 2 weeks, I have to have a full new concept and designs and everything, it's going to be lacking. Like the stuff I was creating in the beginning of the quarter versus later in the quarter. Okay. I think I need to stop filming because right now I'm just like making noises. This should probably be the end of the video, honestly. So if you enjoyed, stick around for more videos like this. I want to do more where I'm just kind of talking because it helps me and maybe it helps you. I don't know. It's just fun. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.